Every game you play, dun, 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 dun. Every word you say, dun, 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 dun. Every time you talk, Nintendo's there to stalk. They are watching you. Now, obviously, with Nintendo introducing Game Chat onto the Nintendo Switch 2 with various ways to communicate with people, either through voice or video chat, there were going to be some implementations made in order to ensure user safety. It's pretty common on the other platforms as well, but now we're starting to get details about how this is going to work on the Nintendo Switch 2, and some of the things people I think are having a bit of an overreaction to, but one of the things I do find a little bit peculiar, and I kind of understand why people are a little bit leery of this aspect. So if you enjoyed my terrible rendition of Sting, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video, but without any further ado, let's just kind of talk about this. So basically, I guess I kind of got to break it down to at least some degree. If you are new to voice and video chat and you don't have a PlayStation or a Xbox system, basically you can report voice messages or text messages that you get from people that you might think are inappropriate. Now, I'm not quite sure like the size of the task force that is delegated to listening to and siphoning through these messages or anything like that, but it's obviously very standard procedure. Some people just get way too out of pocket with things. Now, when it comes to being able to monitor what is on your system, it seems like Nintendo is going a bit further than the other companies do. When it comes to basically having access to voice chat and whatnot, usually it's about 60 seconds from when the call or the voice message has ended to when it basically archives it on the system, so you can report that when talking about the Xbox and the PlayStation. But with the Nintendo Switch 2, it'll actually be up to 3 minutes of your game chat session, in which basically the video and audio will be recorded and temporarily stored on the Nintendo Switch 2. And then if you decide to report, either suspicious or whatever type of behavior, this will basically allow Nintendo to see that full 3 minutes. It'll be sent together with data like a timestamp and camera usage, and then Nintendo can then also see that and basically make a decision on what they need to do, and can even potentially share it with law enforcement. So obviously, when you're talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, I know people love to show graphs and stuff that, oh, it's all adults that play Nintendo, because, yeah, like 10-year-old kids are definitely filling out surveys online, saying how old they are. They're totally not trying to bypass, parental restrictions by putting in a false age or anything like that. It's definitely very verifiable information. So I think on one hand that is a good thing to have. You got to make sure that like there's no freaking creeps on there. Now, you could say, well, RGT, don't you have to be friends with someone in order to access the voice and game chat, the video chat as well, when it comes to the Switch 2? And to that I say, yes, you do. But, people can do nefarious things and, befriend people, and then this, that, or the other sort of happens with it. And then you're kind of in a situation where you're like, wow, I wish I had that level of protection just in case, a little bit of peace of mind. I understand that people might not like having, the whole sort of thing where Nintendo can access that 3 minutes, and you could get into the conversation of, well, what is deemed appropriate or inappropriate? If you're talking amongst friends and a friend makes a joke or something like that, like basically I'm asking if I get Spawnwave to say something inappropriate, like an inappropriate joke or something, which he doesn't really do, but I could kind of lead him to that. Like, can I report him and get his account terminated and he won't be able to play with game chat and voice chat anymore? Because I think that would be kind of fun and exciting. But, it's just the world we live in. Like, you have to put these provisions in place. You have to have these sort of things going on in order to ensure a safe environment for people when it comes to things like voice and video chat, especially considering I mean, there's a lot of freaking weirdos out there who need to be like 6 feet underground. Like, I'm just gonna keep it a buck, man. Like, that's just kind of my opinion on it. But like, it is unfortunately, some bad apples can ruin it for the bunch. So I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with it being the last 3 minutes or anything like that. The people I'm going to be playing games with are my friends, anyways. I'm not gonna have random people joining game sessions or anything like that, potentially saying or doing, out of pocket things. But I guess one of the things you can sort of factor in that I didn't necessarily think about until now is, what if you're in a group of 4 people and one of them says something inappropriate, but it's not you? Like, would that be able to be traced to that individual more so than just the account and all of the accounts sort of in there? Like, obviously there's a lot of, caveats with this sort of thing, but I don't think it's a big deal. I've seen some people freaking out about it online. Like I said, the other platforms have like a 60-second thing. This is just a bit more of an elongated thing. Only Nintendo gets access to this if you file a report. However, you go ahead and do that on the Switch too. So I'm not going to act like this is a big deal. I think this is a decent thing and something that needs to be done, because unfortunately there's some sick freaks in the world out there. But the other side of the coin with this is, in order to use the game chat and all the video chat sort of things, it's been discovered that you need to have your cell phone verified in order to use this. And once again, this is a thing that on the surface, I kind of understand it, but I also don't really like the cell phone thing. And the primary reason is because, servers and things like that can be hacked. Information can get out there. And, obviously you're thinking, oh, well, what does it matter if, my cell phone number gets out there on the internet? I mean, do you like getting spam calls all the time? Do you like this, that, and the other? Like, the less information you have on yourself on the internet, the smaller your footprint is, the better. And I seem to remember when Overwatch 2 came out, there was a mandatory cell phone. You had to put in your cell phone number and verify your cell phone in order to play that game. And there was a huge backlash towards that, because it's like, well, why do you need my cell phone number? I don't think you need that in order for me to play a game that I purchased. And I think you could kind of make a case with that as well. Now, it could be for verification purposes. It could be for trying to ID people who might be doing nefarious things, like I just talked about with the game chat and the video chat and stuff like that. But let's be realistic with that. Those people are probably going to have a burner phone. Like, this isn't their first time to the rodeo. They're not exactly new to this. They've probably been freaking weirdos across all platforms, and now they have a new system in order to be a weirdo. Like I said, just put them out of their misery. Anyways, but like, I don't understand the need for the cell phone. You already have my email. You have my Nintendo Switch 2 name and account information. You actually have billing information, because obviously this is not free. Game chat is not a free thing. When you press that C button on the Nintendo Switch 2 controller, it only works if you are a member of Nintendo Switch Online. So I don't understand the need to have my cell phone number in order to do that. I understand there's going to be a lot of people that don't think that that is a big deal, and that's fine. But it's just more so, these servers get hacked. These servers aren't perfect, and we've seen it with pretty much every company having their information, get out there for various nefarious sort of things. Various nefarious. That's a good rhyme right there. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't like the cell phone thing. I don't think it's necessary. I'm already paying for this service. You have money from me. You have my billing information. You have this, that, and the other. You can listen and watch the last 3 minutes of my conversation with my compadres if need be. I don't think you need my cell phone number. Do you want to put a shower cam in my bathroom as well, Miyamoto? Is that what you want from me? Because if you paid me, hey, money's money. $20 is $20, pal. I will just hit me up about that, Miyamoto. But anyways, guys, that is the situation with Nintendo watching you. So make sure you're on your P's and Q's and be a decent person. I know that's hard. in this world that we live in. But just be a decent person, and none of this stuff will affect you. Jesus Christ. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think of all of this in the comment section down below. Do you find this to be problematic or just standard procedure when it comes to, you know, protecting people online? Because, you know, there's gonna be some freaking weirdo. Like, look at how, like, people are on, like, what's that website that people use where they talk to, like, randoms, the Omegle thing or whatever? Like, you can't trust people, bro. Like, trust no one. Don't even trust Miyamoto. And as always, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. I can't believe the Knicks lost game 1. I know that's the elephant in the room. A lot of depression last night. I had the fork right by the electrical socket. But you know, it's just one game. You win game 2, you're back to even. I'm comfortable. You lose game 2, get the fork ready, get the toaster in the tub. I'm plugging it in, and you can't stop me. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.